Hello, I am Ann Gritch, and I am delighted to welcome you to this segment of the oral history of the Diocese of San Jose. This segment is a particularly special one because we are filming in Mundelein, Illinois at Our Lady of the Lake Seminary and University, where our 7 seminarians are studying. So with me today are 3 of our men, one of whom, another one was not able to be with us, but at any rate, with me now is Seminarian John Hoang, Seminarian Victor Trinidad, and Seminarian Robain Lamba. So welcome to your place.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We're pleased to be here. It's just wonderful. So I think to get us started, can you just give us briefly where you were born, your education, and a little bit of your vocation story?
Okay.
So John, is that okay to start with you?
Yeah, sure. So I was born in San Jose, California. And I went to public school most of my life. I went to the schools in the east side San Jose area. Yeah. And now my vocation story. My vocation story is very interesting. At my home parish, St. Victor's.
St. Victor.
Yeah. In the vestibule, there's a poster of guys discerning to the priesthood. For me, I saw that at the end of the vestibule, and I signed that postcard. And the vocations director at the time, which was Father John, Poncini. He had received my postcard and he gave me a call and he said, "Oh, you're interested in the priesthood. Why don't you come by the office and talk to me?" And I didn't know at the time that he received that. I was surprised. I was like, "Wow, okay, they got my postcard. Yeah, sure, I'll come into the diocese and I'll talk to you." And then from then on, the process just happened, and
here you are.
Here I am.
That's wonderful. Thank you.
Thanks.
So Victor, what's your story?
Yeah, I was also born in Santa Clara, actually, and then raised in San Jose, and I went to St. Victor's also. So I went to Catholic school kind of up until high school. I went to Bellarmine. Yeah, go Bells.
Yes, right.
And then I went to San Jose State, studied computer science there. So the plan was to, get a job and make a lot of money.
Sure.
Work for
Silicon Valley.
Work for Google or Apple or whatever. But one day my pastor, Monsignor Parada, came up to me and asked me, "You ever thought about priesthood?" And he sent me up to meet with Father Mark Catalano,
yes.
who was vocations director at that time.
May he rest in peace.
May he rest in peace. And I got to meet with him. And then he changed jobs, and then I actually applied under Father John Poncini as well, and he graciously took me in.
Well,
So
we're blessed to have all of you.
that's all right.
So Robain, tell me.
Well, I was born and raised in Cameroon, in Africa, and then I moved to California 8 years ago. I studied computer science, and I work in high-tech
So that's
industry.
when you moved for work in the corporate world.
Yes, but it wasn't the reason that brought me actually to California. I moved to California because I won the lottery. There is a federal program where you can win like a green card.
Yes.
And right after I was done with college, I got a job in the government of my country, in Cameroon. And then at the same time, I won the lottery. I was like, I always wanted to visit, US. What do I do now? I pray about it, and then finally, I decided to move to California. What brought me to San Jose, Silicon Valley, a lot of technologies.
Sure.
So I worked for about 4 years, and then during that time, I would go to daily mass, and people would come to me saying to me that we see that you might have a vocation. Have you ever thought about the priesthood? I would always, reply, I don't think I'm being called, to the priesthood, and I don't want to become a priest. And a lot of people kept coming back, even priests, religious. And finally, one day, during Lent, I had this powerful encounter with God during Mass, and that changed me forever. Because at that point, I had a sort of revelation about what God was calling me to do, and then I when I went back for the first time, I picked up the phone, I called the vocation director, started a discernment, and here I am today.
That is wonderful. And what was the parish where you would go to daily mass?
Sometimes I would go to St. John the Baptist because I was living in Milpitas. And my spiritual director at the time was at Our Lady of Peace, so I would also go to Our Lady of Peace. Yes.
You realize how important parishioners are in suggesting about possible vocation, huh?
Oh, yes.
This is a good example of
Yes.
that. Well, that's wonderful. So what do you know, because you're all very young and a newcomer relatively, what do you know about our history, just briefly, as a diocese? We were started, as you know, in 1981. And I'm not even sure you were born.
I wasn't. Were you?
Yeah, I was born already.
He was there.
All right.
He was born. Yeah. Actually, I was an altar server under Bishop Pierre.
Ah, okay.
So I got to altar serve with him.
With our first bishop.
Yeah, our first bishop for the Diocese of San Jose. And then from what I know, we split off from the Archdiocese of San Francisco at that time. And priests were able to kind of pick and choose where to go. And San Jose was kind of the new place, the new thing to go. And so some of the priests chose to go to San Jose and be priests for there.
It was also really appealing because it was just one county.
Yes.
You know, the Archdiocese at one point, I think, covered 13 counties, and then Oakland broke off and Santa Rosa. But well, I think we're the only diocese in California, or maybe Orange also, that is just one county.
One county.
And it's a real blessing
Yes.
to be able to cross us north to south or east to west in an hour, depending on the traffic.
Right, yeah.
And you will find when you get home this summer, the traffic has gotten worse.
Worse. Oh, great.
Right, exactly.
Something to look forward to.
Something to
Great.
look forward to, exactly.
Oh,
exactly.
goodness.
Now, all of you were at St. Patrick's Seminary up until this last year, and I can imagine, and I'm projecting, that you might have had some feelings about having to move. As I understand it, the bishop called you in, all of you, or had dinner for you or something, and told you. What was your reaction? Do you remember?
For me, I was on pastoral year during that time, and then I heard when we all met together. For me, it was a surprise, a shock. But I also had heard before that these were options that they were thinking. Looking at, yeah. For me, it was just a surprise, and then it's, I just had to think it over and see, okay, what to do, because I gotten used to, like, I guess you would say, like the daily grind of things here and at St. Pat's and everything. But, there was a lot of things that was changing as well. Yeah. Not only from, but I was on pastoral year, so I didn't know much. I was at Our Lady of Lavang, so I was more connected with that.
And busy.
Yeah,
That's a
and
very busy parish.
Yes,
right?
so that's why. But yeah, that for me, it was just kind of a surprise.
Yeah, same for me. I believe we got the text or an email about Thursday saying we're going to meet at the bishop's house tomorrow, so be ready. And there was no information about what it was about or anything. So we were, talking to each other. What is this? What is this? What is this about? What's going on? Is this good or bad? And we knew there was a commission to look at other seminaries, but we didn't know there was a decision until we were all gathered in Bishop's residence, and it was Bishop, our vocation director, Father Joe Kim, and Monsignor Cilia, and all of us, and we were all gathered there, and he broke the news. After careful consideration, we decided to send all of us, to Mundelein Seminary, and everyone's reaction was mixed, actually, but we were all kind of like surprised, like, oh wow, like the decision was made, and we didn't know that happened. And so it was kind of like, this big reveal, big surprise, and we didn't know what to do. We had a similar surprise at St. Patrick's when the rector at that time
Yes.
was
Father McCartney.
Father McCurney was kind of booted out.
Yes.
And that was a big surprise for us. So
I was on faculty then, and I can remember that shock.
that's right.
Yeah.
And so maybe we were used to surprises. So maybe that kind of helped prepare us. But yeah, it was a surprise for me as well.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
Robain?
Yeah, for me, honestly, I wasn't surprised at all.
You were not?
Yeah, when I got the email that we were going to meet at the bishop residence, I knew already.
All right.
I knew that we were going to move to
Go someplace.
to Mundelein, and I always remember this verse in the gospel, about self-denial. If you wish to become Jesus' disciple, you have to pick up your cross every day and follow after him. And what I said to myself was, if God is calling me right now to Mundelein, then I'm just going to go, I'm just going to go.
That's great. Yeah.
Can I say something
Sure.
as well?
Please, just bounce in whenever.
Okay. It was kind of funny because I also thought about the summer before that, my pastoral year. Victor and I were in an IPF program in Nebraska, Omaha.
Yes.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And we
Institute of Priestly Formation?
Yeah, IPF is an institution of priestly formation. And in July, we had a little break at the time. And we decided to go to Chicago just to see how it was.
Interesting.
Yeah. And I didn't know. I knew of some seminarians that I just recently met there. Some of them were from Chicago. And I asked them if they had, any idea where to go or could we stay. He's like, oh, you could stay at the seminary, Mundelein.
Oh.
And yeah, he booked us a place, and we did stay here for that summer.
Wow.
And we
Who
went to
knew?
visit Chicago for a while. Yeah, and who knew? Later on, it would be announced that we would be here. So I was like, oh, I've been there. I know Mundelein.
Right.
Yeah, so
In the summer.
that's very funny.
That's a great story. That really is. How are you guys staying in contact with the diocese? I mean, obviously with technology now, it's not that hard, but do you have a sense of, like when we were chatting earlier, you seem to know who's where and what's going on. So, because I think that's really important that we stay connected with you and you stay connected with us.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So I just would encourage that.
Yeah, I think we've been receiving a lot of emails, phone calls from people, in the diocese, and whenever there is something going on here, we try to take pictures, and we have a seminarian who's in charge of putting that, on social media to share it with the rest of the diocese.
That is great.
And we had a few people coming here to visit us. Yeah, and it was just amazing. It was good to see them. It's always good to see someone from San Jose.
Well, and San Jose was thrilled when they found out that Father Bob and I were coming, and everybody sends warm greetings and they're going to want to know how you are, and so, yeah.
Okay.
But it is nice at this stage of human existence that we do have the technology to be able to Skype and to email
And the Valley Catholic,
The Valley Catholic?
they send us,
have
every
a
issue.
subscription? Oh,
Yeah,
good.
they send it to all of us here.
Oh, good.
So
All right.
it's a good way to get in touch.
That's a good way to
and
know
read.
what's going on.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Good for
exactly.
her. That's great.
And then connection through Facebook. So Victor is the person that we would, if something goes on, we'll send him photos and things, and
Oh, good.
Facebook is there for the diocese. So yeah.
That makes me happy. That's
Yeah.
great.
And I think recent Father Joe, because we have diocesan the cards for anyone that's discerning, and then to pray for the seminarians of San Jose. I think we had a video of each day, each seminarian, what to pray for the seminarian. I think we had
Yeah,
that.
that was Father Joe's and Cecilia's project.
Yeah.
Father Joe comes here every month now.
It's great.
Yeah, to check up on us. So,
Or to get away from the diocese.
or to get away. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's the unofficial reason.
Right.
But he keeps in touch with us, and he tells us what's going on too.
Great.
Yeah.
What are the differences here and St. Patrick's, besides the size, which absolutely amazes me? But what kinds of differences, just in terms of people and just the sheer numbers, huh?
Yeah, just the number of students and faculty. The culture is different too. We have different dioceses here. A lot of dioceses that come here, and they're all from all over, from the Midwest, even Seattle, all the way to Seattle. And so just the culture is different. The people, dioceses of places I've never heard of sometimes, but now I'm getting to know just the Catholic Church of the U.S. You know how broad it is, and how many different dioceses there are.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
I mean, they have a good system here that they call that the camp systems. So everybody that lives on your floor form like one camp. And every Monday, we pray Vespers together. We eat together, and then we have like a meeting together, and then a little social afterward. So that's really, really something that St. Patrick, doesn't have, and we have here.
And from all over? I mean, on your floor would be people from Joliet and people from all over the place.
Oh, yes.
That's great. And that's every Monday?
Yes, every Monday. And then, of course, the size, because at St. Patrick, I only had like 10 classmates for the Mass in class. Now, some of my classes, you have 40 students.
Wow.
So, a
good mix of ideas.
It is.
Yeah, so like you said, the size and the different things that we have going on every day. So St. Patrick's, because it was smaller, we got to have one social and just all the seminarians together from pre-theology to theology, just meet at that one social, where this one on Mondays there's cam nights, and then you could meet with other dioceses and guys that live on your floor. On Tuesday it's kind of evening prayer with different cultures. For the Asian guys, I join with them and we have evening prayer together. And I think there's guys that have the chant evening prayer, and you guys can chime in whenever there's what group do you join?
There is an African language group.
Yeah, there's a Spanish language group.
And they would be from different countries too in Africa.
Yes.
Different countries
Yeah.
in Latin America.
Yep.
Yes, but we do pray in English, although the Our Father, because everybody knows that we can use, if you're leading the prayer, you can choose to maybe pray in French or in Zulu or whatever.
That's great.
So that's a way to get to know everybody, not just on your cam.
Yeah.
I'm still I need to know names. I haven't, it's so big here. There's over
It's only
200
been
guys.
3 months.
Yeah.
not even.
Yeah, we're
It's
St.
over
Pat's.
200 men?
Yeah.
Wow.
200.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. But I mean, the biggest difference is just how far we are. St. Pat's was right in our backyard.
It was, yeah.
Yeah.
Or it is, yeah.
Yeah, it is. And, here we have to kind of schedule our flights and in order to go back home for Christmas, Thanksgiving, those sort of things. So that's kind of the biggest difference, being away from the people we know, being away from
And
home.
for you guys, family.
And family.
Yeah. And of course, weather is another change.
Oh, yes.
It was snowing the other day.
Yeah, and this is, the middle of November?
Yeah.
I have my snow boots on,
Yes, all right.
my thermo underneath.
Well, Father Bob and I went walking this morning, and we were so excited because the snow was coming down. I thought, we are probably the only ones out here walking and liking it.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So, yeah, a lot of differences, yeah, I could imagine.
I think another difference would be the teaching parish program here. At St. Patrick, you could change your pastoral assignment every single year. Here, what they're trying to do is, from your first year, when you start, they assign you to a parish, and you will remain at that parish until you ordain. So you
Wow.
get a chance to build relationships.
Wow. This parish is all about relationships.
Yes, yes.
That's an interesting.
Yeah, and throughout all these years, you get a chance to be involved in a very specific ministry, but at the same parish.
Wow. And of course, the people get to know you, and
Yes.
especially in your deacon year, that would be really amazing, wouldn't it, to be doing sacramental ministry. Wow. Is that something new?
Yeah, they started it, the pilot program was last year, and there were a couple bugs that they had to work out.
Sure.
And so this year is kind of the official rollout of this program.
Because you each have a parish, right, that you go to, and you'll have that parish through.
Yeah, yeah, that's right.
That's amazing. And you tend to go to the parish often, right? I mean, Sundays, nobody's here. Right?
Yeah, yes, I mean Sunday is like, if there is nothing going on here, you have to attend Mass at your teaching parish.
Okay.
They don't want you here.
They don't want you here. You're supposed to be out and about.
Out there, yes.
Yeah, which is wonderful training for priesthood, diocesan priesthood.
Yeah, that's what it's about,
Yeah,
you know.
that is I had no idea. Yeah, so there are some differences, definitely. Yeah. Do you miss your classmates from St. Patrick's? Do you stay in touch with them?
Oh yes, we text each other.
Okay,
Yeah,
and
I
they're
miss
doing
them.
okay?
Oh yeah, they're doing okay, and you know, try to keep in touch. Whenever there is something going on over there, you know, they text me.
to know.
Whenever there's something going on here, I try to text them as well.
That's great.
Yeah, we compare notes. You know,
Sure.
oh, this is
How you
going on.
doing?
This is- yeah, here. How are you? We have this paper here. Oh, we just did that last week. Or something.
That's good though.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm happy to hear that. So Robain, you're going to be doing a pastoral experience back in our diocese at Our Lady of Guadalupe.
Oh yes, I'm very excited.
What are your hopes for that?
You know, one thing is I'll be living at the parish full time, you know, and I'm going to experience the diocesan, priestly lifestyle. I look forward to that. You know, get to know the people, build relationships, to be able, to attend to meetings, lead meetings, organize, just, be involved with RCIA, not just for 1 hour or something, just be there with the people, and I look forward.
And I suspect with your French that you'll pick up Spanish very easily.
Well, pray for me.
Definitely. No, we're excited that you're coming back for, and I know Father Gerardo is really looking forward to your being there. So.
Oh yes, we text each other, and he told me that he was looking forward.
Absolutely, and there's a wonderful staff at Our Lady of Guadalupe.
Oh yes, yeah.
The catechetical director is terrific. Yes. Good people.
Yeah, and actually 2 summers ago we spent 2 weeks over there. Three seminarians or 4 seminarians, Father Gabriel, myself, Manuel, and Michael DiMartino. So we spent 2 weeks over there. So I got a chance to, know, a little bit of people. Yeah.
That's great. That is wonderful. I'm going to be there for the feast because it's a huge deal.
December 12th.
Yeah.
I wish I was there.
I
but
know. And I was just thinking it'd be wonderful if you were. But, some other time.
Some other time.
So what else should we be talking about? This is just very fun to be chatting with you and to have you being a part of the history, because this is quite a moment in our history, not having seminarians at St. Patrick and having seminarians here. So
That's right. Father Joe says the biggest advantage for us is, the weakness is we're so far, but it could also be an advantage that we're far, because Father Joe can't just say, hey, we need you here.
This is
you
true.
come here.
Yeah,
So
I used to worry because I can remember at St. Patrick's whenever there were events or unexpected funerals, whatever. Remember when one of the Sulpicians died. All of a sudden, seminarians forget class, you've got to be here, but still you've got to make up class.
Yeah.
So that is an advantage.
Yeah.
And just the new experiences, as you've been talking about, people from all over, a sense of the larger church.
Yes, exactly.
And when you're traveling, and you're in the Diocese of Joliet, you'll have somebody, I mean, there is that much broader vision.
Yeah, I have, a questions maybe. Thank you for everything you've been doing, in the diocese. You have a lot of experience. So what would you say to us who are preparing to the priesthood for the Diocese of San Jose? What would you, advise us to work more on?
I would thank you for that question. You honor me with that question.
You're interviewing her now.
The tables are turned. I would ask, and I'm seeing this in you, continued openness to our people, a kindness and a gentleness, particularly sacramentally, an appreciation of who we are as church, particularly in San Jose. I love the Church of San Jose, and it's not that we're better than anybody else, but there is just something alive and vibrant. We've had 2 wonderful bishops. We pray that our 3rd bishop is as wonderful, different, because our first two bishops have been very different, even physically. But yes, I would really ask you to study, to learn, but to keep that pastoral, and please don't become clerical. Don't become clerical. Your people will love you. People love their priests, so you don't have to lord it over. That would be my suggestions. And thank you for asking.
No, thank you,
I'm
Sue.
honored. So, anything else?
So John and I, since we're in our 3rd year of theology, get to go participate in the program here, which is going to the Holy Land for a semester.
Wow.
So starting in January and all the way up until March, we'll be studying scripture, but also visiting all the holy sites.
That happens in the 3rd year here?
Yes. Yeah.
Now,
So
there's a huge difference from St. Patrick's.
Right.
I mean, my goodness, what an experience.
Exactly. And we came at the right time.
Yeah, right.
And we get to do, since we'll, leading up until diaconate, we'll be doing our canonical retreat there where we prepare, for diaconate. So we'll be praying for, the Diocese of San Jose and all the priests and the bishop and everything during
It's
our
going to be a
time there.
wonderful experience.
Yes.
Keep notes, or however, a journal, however you do it. I've been twice to the Holy Land, and it's just an amazing experience.
And
the land itself.
Yes.
It's just, they say the land is the 5th gospel.
That's right.
Isn't that a nice? Yeah.
That's a nice thing. Yeah. And the point is to become enriched and enlivened with the experience here, over there, and hopefully what we learn here, and like you said, keeping that pastoral aspect, what we learn here and taking it to all the way across, the U.S. to back home.
Back home. Now, Robain, you're 2nd year?
I'm 2nd year
So you
theology.
get to go next year?
Yes, but 2 summers ago, we went to the Holy Land for 9 days with Saint Maria Goretti.
Oh, isn't it just, aren't they going to have an amazing time?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It was a very powerful experience for me.
Yeah, powerful is the word.
That's right.
Yeah, for me, I think it's a pretty amazing experience to be here at Mundelein, kind of on the other side, the Midwest, and because you build connection, you build connection and community with other guys from other dioceses and things like that. And for me, I have the one of my the parish teaching assignments. I'm at a Vietnamese parish, and I got to meet like a lot of the Vietnamese priests here, and there's a lot of religious here as well. And it just builds connection because I would not have known about San Jose having they recently had a Vietnamese priest gathering of the whole U.S. in San Jose.
Oh, I didn't know.
And I didn't know that until the priest here told me that they were going over there. Yeah, and then there was a kind of connection there, how I got to meet the priest here, and they went over there. They came back, they said, oh, I met your bishop, I met this priest from San Jose. So So I was just surprised, and I was just happy that,
It's
there's
that
like
Catholic world.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah. So it was amazing for me
Yeah.
to kind of experience that.
And personally, I really do appreciate all the gifts and all the, all the messages that people send us. The Knights sponsor these jackets for us. These wonderful jackets. They keep us warm.
Exactly.
Yeah. Father Dave Mercer sent us a card to all the seminarians. I really appreciated that. Monica sent us a care package, of gifts and everything.
You're going to get spoiled.
But I really do appreciate these gifts. It makes us feel, like people still remember us.
Well, it's interesting when you say that. It just flashed into my mind. It's not just that they remember you, but in some ways you're almost more present because we're aware that you're away. I don't know if that makes sense, but we can take you for granted when you're around. But it's like, oh, how are they doing? When Father Bob and I told people we were coming here, everybody, give them our love, tell us how they're doing. So that could be, it's an interesting kind of irony almost.
That's right, yeah. You don't realize you miss someone until they're gone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I was amazed to one parishioners of St. William actually sent us ice cream. It's a ship ice cream for us.
No kidding.
Yeah, Martha, you probably know her. She's actually from St. Nicholas.
Yes, right.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
She was the one who was very involved in the blessing when we sent you off.
Yes.
Wow, I sent ice cream. That's amazing. Who would have thought?
People send us a lot of things,
Yes.
different things, which is wonderful.
Yeah,
It's
it is.
amazing. It's a very good blessing.
Well, that's probably a nice note on which to end, but I thank you so much. But just thank you for answering the call.
Thank you.
And thank you for what you're doing here and for your many courtesies to Father Bob and to me and for just being a part of our history. So
Thank you.
hooray for all of us.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, thanks
Thank you
so
very
much.
much.